get to you. Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, non-classic. This is episode number 1711 and Doubleshot number 1605. I have two Marvel trades, and both of them are finales. Yes, this doesn't happen very often. I try to make sure it doesn't happen. This one was completely unexpected. Alright, first up it is Carnage. Yes, Carnage. Volume 3, Where the Dweller Beneath. As well as Beneath. Yep. This is the third and last trade to collect issues from this volume of Carnage. And the thing is, it's not, let's say, the last volume for Carnage, because here's the thing. They gotta bring the series back. Yep, they brought back Carnage. Adventures of Extreme Carnage. My guess is probably some buzz. So they have this one-shot, Carnage Forever, and now we're having our ongoing series for Carnage. I'm like, okay, interesting. It's been several years since the end of this series. Now, this book here collects issues 11 to 16 of the volume, written by Gerry Conway and artwork by Mike Perkins. Yep. Now, to date, this is the only book Mike Perkins ever has worked with Gerry Conway on, because I cannot think of any other book these two worked on aside from this one book. And Perkins did confirm to me the reason why this book ended at 16 issues: low sales. Yeah, the book wasn't selling too well. That was the reason why for it. And mostly put with this one, we do in fact wrap up the series this one. We have Carnage with the Darkhold coming to the island. And they have Eddie Brock and his group, which by the way, one of the members of the group is actually John Jameson. Yep. Eddie Brock at this point is still the host of the Toxin Symbiote. Though by the end of this, he does hand off to another woman who actually somehow ends up on a person. So, we deal with the whole Darkhold stuff. We have this other symbiote pops up here. We have more Supernatural. We have... By the way that Toxin is drawn here by Perkins, it's almost like he's kind of like... Well, it reminds me a lot of the ancient Venom symbiote. Well, when it was under... Well, when Flash Thompson was the host of the Venom symbiote, he looked very similar to this. Except about the mouth. Yes. If you've read any of the books basically feature Flash Thompson's Venom, at hardly any point in the original Venom book does he show off his mouth. He does show it off in his Space Knight book. Yep. So, yeah, they battle a bunch of creatures here. And then, of course, deal with Carnage. Yep. Yeah, by the way, one of the characters who actually has appeared in the book, her name's Victoria. And here's the thing. She is a Gerry Conway character. And the book is kind of in the way of follow-up to his old 90s book, Darkhold from the Pages of Sin, because she's, well, they deal with Darkhold in here. And Carnage got his hands. We see one of the characters' backstory. We have Toxic on freaking Carnage. And by the end of this, Carnage basically has this big, long battle that takes up a lot of remaining issues of the series. He is eventually captured and hauled off to jail. Yes, Carnage is arrested at the end of his own ongoing series. Yep. Here's Manwolf for you, done by Mike Perkins, who does an excellent job drawing Manwolf. Yeah, good amount of horror artwork here. Yes. It's a good thing Gerry Conway has some experience doing horror stuff. Yep. And plus also doing Spider-Man. And we show off his character, Victoria. He kind of outs her as a lesbian. Yep, he does with this book. Yep. But yeah, this is just a really damn good book. I love it. I really do. Sad this book ended after only 16 issues, because I did notice the fact this book was not listed as part of the stuff that was relaunched after the events of Secret Wars, because this book ended in 2015. Yep. Yeah, when I met up with Mike Perkins first time, yeah, he told me that. That's the reason the book ended. So, we have it where Victoria basically asks a woman, basically is maybe this woman again, potentially have a potential romance, which, to my knowledge, doesn't appear anywhere else at all. Yeah, but unintentionally, this book basically will be a book that plants seeds for absolute carnage. Yeah, it does. Several years later. Why the heck is it like that? I don't really know. Yes, and if you're curious though, like what happened to these characters after this book wrapped up, well, in the case of Eddie Brock, he ends up, well, in the Venom book, where he gets back being, well, Venom. Yep. As for Victoria, who been pretty much a mainstay of this book, she, to date, has not really appeared since then. Yeah. Yeah, that's the weird thing about this. Is that the character... Oh, yeah, she did appear one time after this one. Marvel voices Pride. Yes, a one-shot that came out last year. And that was her most recent appearance to date. Yep. There's also this whole thing in the book with the Brotherhood of Cthulhu, which basically Cletus basically is involved with. Yep. Also, one of the character of Claire Dix apparently dies in this book at the end of the series. But no, she actually survives, and then she's basically caught. She next appears in the pages of Venom by Mike Costa. Yep. Yeah. Where she appears just for a couple issues of the Mike Costa run. And that's it for her. She appears in the storyline Nativity. Yeah, appears in the last two issues of Mike Costa's run, and that's it for her. Yeah, that's the weird thing about Claire Dixon. I mean, her first appearance was in All New Ultimate Point 1, and she appears in this book exclusively and a couple issues of Venom. But that's going to be it for the character. Yeah, at one point she was host of Rise Symbiote. And the symbiote was destroyed by the end of the series. Yep. As for the guy Oberon, he is killed off by the end of the series too. Chthon, who's kind of like a god, he does not die in this book. Nope, he doesn't. I don't think he does much anything else after this one. No, not really. He does a little bit. Not really. Not a heck of a lot of stuff per se. Yeah. So after this series wrapped up, he appeared in the issue of Ultimates, Secret Empire United, a couple issues of Secret Warriors. Appeared in one issue of the current volume for Avengers, which was issue 10, by the way. He appeared toward the end of Uncanny Avengers Volume 3, and he appeared in the Darkhold Alpha Mega one-shot, and that's it. Yep, that's been pretty much it for the character. The Darkhold item itself, well, I don't think it appeared much after this one. No, not really. Yeah, this book has appeared a lot it's been a good amount over the years, but after this book wrapped up, it's appeared sporadically. Yes, it appeared in the one issue of Secret Empire, issue of Arkham Presents. Its most recent appearance was in Wasteland's Doom, a one-shot that came out of this very year, and that was the last time it had actually physically appeared in the comics. But in the case of like 616 appearance, Darkhold Omega. Yeah, that was the last official time that... Well, how should I put this? Yeah, but the Darkhold series one, that was the last time Darkhold stuff physically appeared. But in the case of Cletus Cassidy, I think next time he appears, I don't think he reappears again for quite a while after this. No, I think the next time he physically appears was in, as far as I can tell, I think it was in like, yeah, after this book, the symbiote ended up in the final arc of Dan Slott's one from Amazing Spider-Man. Cletus himself will return in the Venomized crossover. And then he became part of the whole thing related to The Absolute Carnage crossover, where he died at the end of it. He's occasionally appeared, mostly in Illusions. I mean, his most recent appearance was basically mostly in the pages of Extreme Carnage, but that's been pretty much it. But Carnage himself, he's dead. Yep, he's dead. His body was killed by Eddie Brock, so he's not really much around per se. Mostly just in the mind of the Carnage symbiote. Yep. But in the case of the series of Carnage by Gerry Conway, Mike Perkins, excellent book. It's only 16 issues, and I do recommend people check it out because a lot of people, according to both Gerry Conway and Mike Perkins, they both told me this. They thought it was kind of weird they were offered to do a book about a villain, but they didn't think though it would be that good. But it should be really good. Yeah, both of them were actually genuinely surprised at how well it turned out. Yep. All right, next up we have Thunderbolts, Widowmaker. Excuse me. Yep. Oh, this trade contains issues 133 to 137. I should start right away with the whole thing with Nick Fury in the book. Yeah, they have Nick Fury pop up for one issue, and then it's retcon in the Secret Warriors miniseries, ongoing series. That this actually is not Nick Fury at all. Nope, it is actually, well, it's the son of it's Ares' son, Alexander Phoebus. He poses him as part of an android type of thing. Yep. Oh, and the whole thing with Andy Diggle being the writer here. He only writes the first 4 issues in this book. Yeah, it's only 5 issues. Basically, 133, 136, all Andy Diggle. Recommended this issue 137, and so 138 up until the final issue of this run. It's all done by Jeff Parker. Most of the put with these issues, we just have it where Songbird and I think it was like let's see, we have basically, we revealed the whole thing with the Black Widow in here. Yeah, it's revealed that the Black Widow who appeared in the book since the whole Dark Reign stuff, apparently this is actually not Yelena. Yeah, it's revealed this actually is Natasha Romanoff. Yep, and this is revealed, and also we have this new guy named Scourge. Who is this guy? Well, if you'll listen to it a little bit later, I'll get to that. So, basically, we have Mr. X doing a training montage, stuff related to Thunderbolts. Yeah, and then it's revealed, oh yeah, the fact that, well... And look, here's Nick Fury. Despite the fact this is not Nick Fury, this is actually Alexander. Yep, they retconned it later. And they had this reappearance in here by Mach 4 and the Fixer. Yep. Why are they here? Why do they appear in this book? Well, their purpose is just to be a side thing to basically explore the pages of Jeff Parker's run. Yep. We have Slum meeting up with them again, which is the first time these two appeared in this book. In the case of the two of them, I think in the case of Fixer and Abe Jenkins, of course, they have not appeared in this book since Fame of the Seas are wrapped up the book, and they've been absent for several issues. So, Songbird eventually taken. Like, supposedly, oh yeah, look, it's Catch by the Black Widow, but it's actually Natasha Romanoff. Yep. And then we have 35 being the cover of the book. And then, of course, they're captured by the Thunderbolts. Yes, they're captured by the Thunderbolts to be sentenced to be executed to be a beheading. Yes, beheading. Because suppose Nick Fury being captured, he's supposed to get killed, but don't worry, that's not him. Oh, by the way, we have the lineup here in this issue. Like, Black Widow was officially off the team with Songbird, who's not Thunderbolt anymore.
Did you get the message a few times?
No.
Supper's ready.
Okay, can I finish, please? Yeah, so they're about to execute him, and then, of course, Hesman just stabs Scourge. Is this a Scourge in the world? No, this actually is the old Frank Miller character, Nuke, who is Scourge for some reason. Yeah, don't know what his purpose is being here, but he's here. Mr. X, of course, is killed off by Ghost. Yeah, because of course in second story arc our writers, we have to have a team beat the crap out of each other. Songbird and Black Widow get away. Rescued by Abe Jenkins. And they don't, like, in the case of Mach 4 and and also in the case of the Fixer, they never return again to Jeff Parker's in the book with post Siege. And if you'll hear, oh yeah, it's Nuke. Yeah, he's a character by Frank Miller from the events from the storyline Born Again. And then we have the real Yelena join the team. Yeah, this actually is followed up in the pages of, I think it was like Secret. No, it was a Secret Avengers where Yelena went to go after the Tasha Roman for posing as her for the past year. Yep. And then we have a storyline where, in the final issue, just Rick Remender's issue where we have where Iron Fist is captured by Norman Osborn. When the heck this happened? Don't know. Finds most people off. He gets people taken. Of course, Headsman, of course, is he's getting the crap out of him in here by Luke freaking Cage, and of course Iron Fist is briefly taken. And as for the Headsman himself, yeah, at the end of this issue, he's killed off. Yep, they kill off the Headsman. Yeah, he's gone. Well, not really. He does come back later. And pretty much at the end of this, we have planted the seeds for the events of Siege. Well, mostly anyways. Yeah, I think that the whole thing with Rick Remender's issues actually was pretty interesting for what it was. Pretty fun book. All that I consider. Final thoughts on the Indigo run. It's pretty interesting for what it is. And Rick Remender issues actually was pretty fun. A fun issue. And pretty much with the very next issue, up until issue 190, even after it was renamed to Dark Avengers, from Thunderbolts Dark Avengers with issue 175, it's all Jeff Parker for the rest of the series at this point. Started with the Siege tie-in. Yep. Looking forward to talking about that in the future, okay? And so, that's pretty much it. Stay tuned later on for my review for How Real Estate Ruled the Kingdom, okay? Next video. Bye.